Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K&B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop. What up, y'all? It's K&B, the Sexy Ninja, for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the Sexy Ninjacast. A podcast, a vlogcast, whatever you want to call it. The Sexy Ninjacast is the embodiment of me, KMB, my loves, my interests, my hobbies, positive messages, a mental way just to talk for a second and just let it all out, knowing people are out there they need something like this. It's, the podcast originated because I wanted to speak on stuff that I wanted to speak on, especially the music I like, and comic books and movies and this and that. And today is something more, I would say this is more of a catch up on my life, catch up on everything. I got a promotion on a job that I've been at for about 12 years this August. Well, it is August. No, the end of August. Oh, shit. See, my brain is so where has this year gone? And just this promotion I've been after for a while. I've been I want this job so bad. And I've been kicked down a bunch of times to even try to get this level of job, this level of money and stuff like that. And it's been a long, long journey, but it's also been a learning one, because I remember when I first started, I was like, yeah, I'm here for a paycheck. Then the years go by and, then you're like, you know what? I'll try. Then when you get in management, you either become an asshole or you become the cool boss. You either become this and that. And I wanted to be the cool boss. When I first got a certain level of management or leadership in a role, I was like, man, I want to be the cool guy. I want them to be like, yo, this guy's awesome. And in doing so, I let people walk all over me. And, I let upper management, beat me down, even though I was trying to do my job and be cool. And that sets you in a different parameter of what your mindset should be. And then you take a step back. You're like, you know what? I will be firm. I can still be the fun, cool boss. But there needs to be a line drawn. There needs to be a line drawn of where you're at with your employees or whatever. And, it's just one of those things I never imagined I would grow up in a time span that I have spent, working and working and working. And I've gotten the bone on a lot of jobs, man. I've gotten the bone hard. And I'm not going to say it wasn't my fault. Because it's funny, is I've learned that there's no sense in lying. There's no sense in lying whatsoever. Own your shit. If you fuck up, you fuck up. And you're like, okay, on to the next day, because that's what happens, and everything in my life I thought back on, all of the podcasting and everything like that. It's always a learning, you're always learning. You're always advancing. And I went back just to talk about the podcast. If you're a fan, if you've been with us for a while, you've been with us, the history. If you're new, you got to go check out the library. We got a lot of stuff on the YouTube channel, a lot in the archives. There's so many episodes. Some good, some bad, some with the audio that is just terrible. But, when this all started, the mindset was man, we got to get our thoughts out there. We got to let people know, we got to tell people to go fuck their couch. We still tell people to go fuck their couch, man. And just shout out to Big Daddy. Go check out his podcast, Big Daddy Forever. And if you want to hear both of us, go check out the archives of the social event. There's some really funny shit there that I go back to a lot of the times to listen to. I mean, man, we fools. And then it's just a time capsule upon itself of going back and be like, I remember this when we were riding in the car. This is when that cop followed us on that episode. All this stuff. And I went back to, what was it? I think it was my review for Avengers Endgame, the trailer. The trailer dropped, and I had a job at that point where I was working at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I was up at 2 a.m. I know a lot of people are like, ew, gross. I was like, yeah, but I had a salary
salary position thing, and this was at a gas station. I was running a deli and the place and this and that. And it was one of those things where that trailer dropped and I had the advantage to drop something early because, this ever revolving door in this entertainment world, in this spectrum of it, and everything it comes down to, it's about timing. It's about dropping the content as fast as you can. And, I've never been that more on point than I have with the New World podcast. And that is the podcast. It's all about pro wrestling, everything going on, because it's an ever evolving door. And I had to school that to be like, okay, let's create. Now I want to create more than just that. I opened up the door of a Paper Saber universe of what we're in right now. And we got the Sexy Ninjacast and a lot of other projects that I have in mind. I want to make music, but I'm just saying, like, it's an ever revolving door. So I went back and watched this Avengers Endgame reaction. And it's in the car. The light's real shitty. And I think this is the car that I sold to Big Daddy, but I remember being in his car and I'm like, what? I was like, oh my God, really loud and this and that. I know I'm loud here, but at that point I didn't understand audio. I didn't understand this, even though I'm a guy that started off doing music. I didn't understand the effects of video quality and this and this, and somebody said something, and I got to shout her out, Melissa. It's much love, much respect. She showed some love the other day. She was texting me, and she said, "It's so cool seeing me evolving with this." And after seeing that Avengers Endgame thing, I was like, "Damn, I have come a long way to making graphics and designs and this and that. All DIY, baby. All do it yourself." I keep pushing myself to learn new things, to, being like, if I'm watching a movie, it's always like, man, how did they do that? Oh, how is that done? And then I start breaking it down. And then I have, Big Daddy I talk to, and Doug I talk to, and we could just talk for hours. And I did something, I'm doing, and I like trying to learn new things, but also stay in my world, in my realm of comic books and movies and pro wrestling and stuff like that. But when I learn something really fucking cool, I'm like, oh man, that's dope. Like stuff like when Stairs was created, like, like I was like, man, imagine a world before Stairs was a thing. And I looked it up. It's like 2,000 or 4,000 years ago, Stairs was created. And this time, I'm like, what did they do before then? Let's trudge up this fucking hill, or, let me get to my bedroom. I got to climb up these fucking rocks, like stupid shit like that, man. But it's just fun, just to go out there and find things to like Google and just be like, oh, I wonder what's this, and it was funny. The other night, I was like in real deep thought and concentration coming home. I was in my truck and I'm driving, and I spiced up the truck. I got Han Solo in the front. I got the Millennium Falcon in the back with Star Wars and some cool Star Wars sticker. I got my Han dice in the window. I got a Han Solo thing, and I got a Babu Frick from the Rise of Skywalker. And he sits like right on the driver's side. I'm seeing him right now. He's sitting right on the driver's side, and he looks really cool. In the daylight, he looks really cool. But at night, he is scary as fuck. His eyes are like really like kind of glossy, and then when the cars are driving by, I'm driving home at night. His eyes look like they're moving, looking at me and this and that. And I swear, that was the longest ride from work I've ever had in a long fucking time. When your hair stands up and you just feel goosebumps and you're just like, you feel like you're being fucking watched, and it's terrifying and it's scary. That's what Babu Frick has done to me. I haven't even drove the truck in a few days since then because he freaked me the fuck out. And the wife is like, why don't you fucking take him out of the car then? I was like, I don't want to. What if I brought some demon Babu Frick into my life, and now he likes that spot so he can watch me and judge me while I'm driving and I'm in deep thought, huh? You ever think of that? Because he watches a lot of Ghost Adventures and a lot of ghost things and spirits and that. And so now I'm just letting Babu Frick sit where Babu Frick wants to sit. Like that's his spot. You want that spot? That's your spot. But I don't know. Longest drive going home, I just felt his eyes were on me, and I was like, man, why am I so uncomfortable? Like, And then in the daytime, it's fine. It's cool. Oh, all right. Yeah. So I was like, the thing I'm supposed to make my truck into this big homage to Star Wars, the one thing I love so much. I got scared of it because of Babu Frick is in there. But I'm also like, my mom bought me this cool like styrofoam dome shape thing. And, I'm going to put it on top of the truck, but I want to make sure that so it can last a while. I want to make it into like a R2-D2 type dome style and have it on top. And I still have a lot of stickers that I want to add and a lot of designs and this and that to the truck just so it stands out. I got this awesome Mando in the front in the front of the truck and all that. And, like I said, I got that awesome Han Solo. I still want to add some more cool stuff on the thing. And it's unique, and I got one side says right by the gas pump. I think it says like, don't get cocky, kid, or don't tell me the odds. And I remember posting this on a Rebel Force radio group I follow, and they're like, yeah, tell us who your favorite character is. And I'm like, yep, Han Solo. That's who I always wanted to be growing up, And, and it's funny too, is like this week with I will say mental stress in the sense of like, I've been after this job, this promotion I just got for about a month and a half. So I did the screener interview, passed it, great, awesome, cut, check, next. Next interview gets delayed. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. Then I got to wait. And then I do that interview, and it's nerve-wracking. It's funny. I think I do really well in interviews. But with this interview, with so much writing on it, I was just like, the person giving me the interview is like, hey, you're off topic. I was like, yeah, because I'm fucking nervous as fuck. I don't know why I get that way. I don't know if there's some form of PTSD of being kicked down so many times with jobs and stuff like that. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I'm not guilty of anything because I will tell you the truth. And tell me when I'm lying. You probably might know where that's from. But here's an example. I was doing something. I was doing something for work, and then all of a sudden one of my employees is like, hey, HR says you need to report to them right now. And I was like, oh, shit. My brain automatically was like, yep, this is it, big boy. All right, just turn in the keys. This is it. I walk in, and I'm like, hey, I'm here. And they're like, hey, they asked me this simple question. I was like, that's it? That's all you need me for? He goes, we were laughing about it. He goes, why? I was like, I don't know. Like, my first instinct was the bone. The bone. I don't know who's out there right now that needs to hear this, but do you have those feelings? Like, anytime some form of management or you're in an interview, you're already thinking like, oh, I fucked up. You know what? Whatever. Move on and this and that. And this is why I love what I do when it comes to podcasting and stuff like that, because I control it. I make the narrative. I own this. Nobody else does. Like, I'm not bringing anybody in. I'm not working for anybody when it comes to this. So this is a much more free form, and it helps. And thank God for music, man. There's been so much good new music that's coming out. I think this dude's name's Mel E or whatever. I don't know. He's the newest signee with Dr. Dre and Eminem. And Eminem was on a song with him that just launched. I can't tell you the song right now. I think it's Loyalty Royal. I don't know. It's a new song, but Eminem took shots at everybody, like he does and stuff like that. It's a good verse, but I think it outshines the actual artist. And the hook is really dope, but it's just one of those things like, that verse from Eminem is getting more publicity than the artist that he's being featured for. And I'm just like, is it fair to the artist? Sure. Now people can go check out their catalog, but, and that's probably the most mainstream thing I follow is Eminem. That's by far none the most mainstream thing I follow. Everything else I feel is still in the underground banner and whatnot. There's some great artists like Dirty and Dubs. Oh, man, I still love that album so much. But, Ouija Mac and Three-Headed Monsters, they dropped a music video, devastating, called The Biggest, and it's so cool. And I was watching that music video. It's Esham, Ouija Mac, and Violent J as the Three-Headed Monsters, a super group. They just dropped an album and did a tour called Three-Headed Monster. And the video itself, I was thinking about it after watching. I was like, oh, I love that song, man. That song's dope. Got me hyped. It got me going. And then I was like, oh, they don't make music videos like they used to anymore, man. When there was layered storytelling, you remember that behind the MTV music video, behind the scenes or whatever you used to watch? You're like, hey guys, this is the story for the Britney Spears song. We got going from point A to point B. It wasn't just them standing there rapping or singing at the thing, or changing locations in the background. There was like a story element of what they were trying to tell in the music videos. And I'm not saying that music videos have gotten lazy on that aspect. I'm just saying, like, I just kind of miss the days of, like, when music videos used to tell a story along with the song. And sometimes, though, I'm saying, going back to those MTV behind the music videos, sometimes the story is really fucking stupid as well. So you got to find that balance of what you want to do. But go check out this song, The Biggest, Three-Headed Monster. It's a banger of a song. You want to talk about a banger? Oh, my boy, Doc Gruesome. I need to get him back on here for an interview, man. His new album, The King in Yellow. Holy shit. Like, it tickled my balls so hard that I but blah, I'm like, this awesomeness that's like penetrating my ears and penetrating everything in my soul. This album's a banger. You gotta go support. I'm looking to get a shirt and stuff. Like, I want to get a physical copy of this album because I love this album so fucking much, man. And and shout out to Shaggy 2 Dope and his crew. I heard he got in a big accident on their tour, man. That's scary upon itself. Somebody wanted an update on my dad because I brought it up on the New World podcast. My dad got hurt, ran over a car, broke his ankle, but he's doing fine. I saw him and I was joking with him too because he got a boot on, and I had a boot on for about a good 2.5 months. So when I saw that he had a boot, I was like, we're boot buddies. Yeah, Dad, boot buddies, man. We in an exclusive club. Because when I had that fucking boot on and I was at work, there would be people like, the boot. I had one myself. And I was like, man, this is like a club. Who has had the boot? And then walking in this fucking boot itself, it's like, click. My mom called it heels, because every time I walked, it sounded like I was walking in heels in this thing. But it was just the one side. And then I finally got to the foot doctor. Foot doctor's like, all right. And I got a hairline fracture, third toe, because my dumbass was at the gym. And, I should get to the gym. But I was a dumbass this day at the gym because I was like, oh, okay, cool. And what's funny is I documented that. I was documenting like day 300, whatever, day this, day that, whatever. And it was a little like vlog of me trying to lose weight, get back in the gym, get back into professional wrestling shape. But man, that day, I remember like, I grabbed a 25-pounder and I grabbed it. I didn't grab it though. And it went, slipped, bam, hit my foot. I was like, oh shit, took my shoe off. It swelled up. And that was over a year and a half ago. Didn't do shit. I don't go to the doctor. Like, unless, I should go to the doctor when I need to, but I go to the doctor when it's ER time. So, I had my foot swell up here and there, can't go walking, can't do this, I kept myself real limited. And then one day my foot just was like on a level of just pain, and I went to the ER. Then that's when they finally did the MRI, all this and that. We found out, they put me in the boot. But then when I took the boot, after I had my last visit with my doctor, it was like, let's try the boot off for a month, then you can come see me. I was like, okay. Weirdest fucking experience after wearing this thing for that long and trying to regain my motion and walking, because the boot is a little bit higher on one side, and the way you walk with the boot, you could try to walk normal, but it's really hard. Like you hear, you're like your foot's sticking out and you're trying to walk and stuff like that, and you waddle, and it was just one of those things where I struggled hard that first day with wearing just regular shoes, both even and whatnot. I was like, what's wrong with me? I feel so silly, and I'm a silly goose. But that's been going on, promotion, everything like that. I've been working on some new music, working on a couple tracks and stuff like that, working on trying to get a feature on them. It's all about money. It's all about the money when it comes to this stuff. And also, too, so many movies are coming out. Ninja Turtles is out this weekend. I really want to see. Shout out to Colin. Happy birthday. His birthday's coming up. You old fart. I love you. He's probably gonna be like, fuck you. And your couch. I'm like, yeah, goddamn right. And your couch too. But there's nothing but love. Nothing but love, you know. So we're in August, man. That's crazy. August, September, October, November, December. We got 5 months left in this year. It has been a doozy of the year. Aliens and shit like that, and no one cares. People thinks that there have been people dressed in bear suits at the zoo and shit like that. And, you know, and R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman, you know, he passed away. And there's so many people that passed away this year. It's just so crazy when you really think about life and death and that nature of just like, wow, you know, we have a short amount of time on this dirt ball. You know, and we need to make every fucking second count. But also, too, I understand the reality of that. I understand the reality of that because we as, you know, people, we have stressful minds and stuff. I've gotten to a point in my life where I used to look at Hollywood stars, pro wrestlers, people in the music industry as like, oh my God, they're these godlike figures and nothing can touch them, nothing ever. You know, no, these guys are surreal and whatnot. And then when I finally started doing this podcasting and started talking to these individuals, becoming friends with a lot of them, and looking at their day-to-day lives and stuff like that, and they're going through the struggle as well. So now I look at somebody who's on TV acting, and I'm like, man, they probably have shit going on in their life right now, but they're acting a certain way because they have to, you know, like, especially in music. Everyone's going through this mental capacity, and it's so fucking dope that we can say that these days. Because you remember, people would just say, like, buck up, man up, you know, fuck your feelings, you know, you got to get out there. No one gives a fuck about you, so blah, blah, blah. You know, and I had a boss a while ago that said that, I wouldn't say this year, but a few years ago where we were doing something and he goes, do you think the customer gives a fuck about how you feel? Blah, blah, blah. No, they fucking don't. You know, and I was just like, how stale is that though? And also too, I know that customer's probably going through some shit, even though they're being a fucking asshole right now. I know they're probably going through some shit in their life, but to be told that, hey, no one gives a fuck, you know, I'm like, and now today I feel like we give a certain fuck. We don't give all the fucks. We give a certain fuck. And I'm glad that mental illness is being talked about because this is why I was driven into the music I love. This is why I was driven into the things I like. This is why I was driven into the bubble. And, you know, and because I was told, buck up. That's it. That's all. Man up. Get fucking going. And that's why I'm certainly like sensitive to certain things. You know, someone says something, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I remember there was one point where I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't give a fuck. But it's just like, you grow up out of that. You grow up out of saying, like, I don't give a fuck. Because you understand that there should be some fucks giving. I know I'm saying fuck a lot. I'm sorry. It's just one of the things I want to go. But I'm somebody that, like, I really wish I could write. I want to write a memoir of my life. And is it the most interesting thing in the world? No, I say it is because I've been through a lot of dumb shit. And I've learned from a lot of it, you know. It's about growing up. And now that I have a fucking daughter who's fucking awesome and stuff like that, an amazing wife who loves me more than anything and put up with a lot of my bullshit, you know. And that's hardcore love right there. And I believe this year's going to be 12 years we've been together. You know, and we got this tiny one that she's growing up. She's about to be 9 in December. And it's just like, oh, shit, man. And, you know, like looking back and seeing the Snack Me videos we used to do and whatnot. And people always ask me, why haven't you done them with her and stuff? Because there's certain people out there that commented on certain videos. And there's certain people who sent me messages that just really turn like, oh, man, your daughter, she's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, she's beautiful. But why are you saying that, you fucking weirdo? You know what I mean? That was the first mindset as a father. I was like, what do you mean fucking? You know, and then someone's like, hey, can I be her uncle? I'm like, what the fuck? And then that was one of the biggest ones. I was like, yeah, I'll have her on audio, but like video-wise, I'm going to wait. And, you know, and that's why when I see these videos of these kids, like the Ryans of the world and all these other kids that are on YouTube and their families like exploiting them as fucking crazy, is like, I don't know how I could do that and justify that's okay in my mind. I don't know how I could be like, here's the camera, you know, because me and Big Daddy joked about it. Like when the Ryan videos were huge, we're like, yo, we got to have Kathy open up toys. We got to follow, you know, do this and that. But then I was like, yeah, I can't justify doing that to my kid. You know, I want my kid to grow up and be herself. I want her to be her own person. And she is nothing like me. And I'm proud to say that she's nothing like me. She's developing her own personality. She's got some quick wit. Like she is her own, and I love her for that. Like she's finding her own groove in this life, and that's what I feel proud that I'm like, okay, sometimes I feel like I'm not the greatest dad, but if I can have my kid be their own, that's fucking awesome. I'm getting a little emotional about it because I'm thinking of like everything with her, to the song, everything I created for her, you know, when she was born and stuff like that, like that, the magic of holding this child and being like, man, I'm responsible for this, you know. It's such an amazing privilege and honor to be a parent. So, yeah. But, all right, y'all, I got to get going. It is getting hot as balls up in the booth. I got to get ready for work. We got to get rocking and rolling. Thank you for listening to my rant. Thanks for listening to the Sexy Ninjacast. Every podcast I do, every project, every video that anybody's liked, all my music and stuff like that, I appreciate y'all 1,000. No, fuck that, 3,000. I love y'all 3,000. Thank you. That's it. That's all. More Sexy Ninjacast on the way. I got a lot of cool ideas, and I'm hoping that I can start knocking them out here soon. So, all right, y'all. Like and subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, you know what I'm going to say. Stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop!
Welcome to the wicked shit.